Right guys, it's now on the dyno. As you can see, Sean is just setting the base timing while it's before we're ready to do some power runs here. As you can see, there's the man himself. We're just adjusting the dizzy while setting the timing. We're not going to do any power runs tonight because it is getting quite late, but Sean wants to get it all set up ready to go for tomorrow morning. We are currently letting it run in and idle as well, just to when we come in tomorrow morning it's a lot less time for the day basically. While we've got another hour or so, it isn't enough to do the full dyno and get it all mapped and running, but it's just enough to get the engine bedded in, and the fan just kicked in, so that's good. So yeah, Sean is just doing the timing now, and then once the timing's been set, we've got the dead cans on, which is that there. We've got the O2 sensor plugged in for a second reading. A lot of the customers that come here, they do have their own LM2 or AEM wideband thing, but as a fail-safe, Sean likes to have his own version sat next to the gauge that the customers have, just to make sure that he wanted cross references and make sure that they're both the same or quite close together. So Sean's just setting that up now. He's got the laptop in there to try and get into the Wolf. So yeah, I will update you guys when Sean starts doing some power runs over late today or early tomorrow. Just a sneak peek. Daniel is in there making the cup of tea. Hello, sir.
So it's been a few days now since you've seen the last clip.
Yeah, so we did film the day after. Yeah. But the footage is really bad because you can't hear anything because the dyno's so loud. Yeah. Just to give you, saves you explaining it all. What we basically explained in the clip that you can't see because the footage is shit. We did a turbo test because this car wasn't making the power we wanted. Turbo's been tested, it's come back all good. So we've then delved into the ECU side of things, yeah. Without boring everyone, when you map a turbo car, you have to retard the timing all the way and then you sort of add timing as you're putting up the boost. Sean was giving it timing and it weren't doing anything. So the only way that can happen is if the ECU is like shit itself.
So if that's happened, what else could happen to that ECU? That's why Sean says, let's put it on the link. So customer has bought a Link Monsoon. So we plugged that in. Sean's made his plug and play looms as well with the Monsoon. James just bought that second hand. It works really well. Uploaded it to the ECU, runs straight away. Cold starts way better as well because the Wolf ECUs are not the best for the cold starts, because we started the other day and it was just really bad.
Oh god, it was so bad. It was like you put your foot down and it would go finally kick in.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Engine health check and everything else that it could possibly be, and it's all come back okay.
Triple check the timing, compression test, all cylinders all good.
Fuel injection, all everything. We've tested everything other than the turbo and the ECU. So now the turbo's come back mint. Yeah, it has to be the ECU.
Like 95% sure it is the ECU. What other 5% is, but I don't know. But
yeah,
it has to be ECU.
It has to be ECU.
Obviously, we told James to buy a Link Monsoon, and he has. So we plugged it in, and I'll get back to you when we start tuning. So, car's off the dyno now. The reason why it's off the dyno because it's made 281 brake horsepower. So we've ran into a lot of different problems. So the first problem was dizzy, HT leads, igniter, coil and king leads. So we swapped all that over and we did another run and made 222 brake horsepower, I believe.
At a bar.
Yeah, and then we did another pull at 1.1 bar and we did making a lot of power. So what we did then, we did another pull to make sure that Sean's going to put some more timing in it. It was not making any more power. So I was like, let's look at the exhaust. So the exhaust had a very restrictor. It goes like that small, then it goes massive open. So we took off the exhaust, so that's why the footage sounds really loud now. So when we took the exhaust off, we noticed a big increase of torque because it was flowing a lot more better. But we did take off the exhaust. We saw the downpipe was small anyway.
It was 2 inch. The downpipe flange. I'm going to quickly grab one. So this is Sean's old. It's not focusing. Focus, bitch. There you go. This is Sean's old TDL4 downpipe flange, and that is 2.75 inch or 3 inch. I believe it's 2.75. And the one on this car is 2 inch. Well, it's literally 1.9 inch. It's the same size as the inlet of the TDL4, which is absolutely tiny.
So we're not getting a lot of flow, but we're getting a lot more flow now since we took the downpipe off. And it's made 200 at 1.2 bar. I think it made 245. 245.
Yeah.
Then 1.3 bar.
265.
265, and then 1.4 bar. We made 281 brake horsepower. So we took it on the ramp, sent it up, do an oil change. Oil change was mint, no metal. We've got a magnet as well, making sure there's no bearings, material. So oil's all golden. We just topped it up, back on the ramp.
We didn't film any of that because we were just doing it quickly, just to like save the time, because it's already quite late in the day as it is.
Yeah, because it is 6 o'clock at the moment. But yeah, oil pressure straight away, which is a good thing. So this car now is going to get a full check over every nut and bolt. That's what I like to do, and paint marker every single thing to make insurance that we've done it, and then know when the customer jacks the car up or when he gets it done somewhere else, like at home, he knows that it's been all checked over. Obviously, we like to Loctite our gearbox bolts, everything, because they know to come loose from rattling.
We have already Loctited all the shit on this car because we've had to rebuild it, as you guys have seen in the previous parts. But we'll just quickly check everything's tightened to torque spec, paint mark it, and then I believe me and Sean, or Dan and Sean, will be taking this on a road test just to make sure that the power on the dyno feels the same as it does on the road, and just to double check.
We've had a mad nightmare for the past 2 days because, as we said, the Wolf ECU failed. There's on the Link now.
This car has been confusing the absolute shit out of us. I'm not going to lie to you all.
We just, my brain just couldn't think no more. So what's going on?
No thoughts, head empty kind of car. So we'd change one thing and then another problem would arise. So, but now it's all running sweet. All the problems have gone, except for the limiting factor of his exhaust system, which is the downpipe is very thin.
So ideally it needs a new, from the flex, a new exhaust make it up. Because it's
Let me quickly get underneath the car while I'm still rolling, just to show you what we're on about. I can't show you the size of the flange in here, but as you can see very clearly on the video, there's a very big reduced section here. And this diameter right here and right here is only 2 inch, which is very, very small for this kind of setup. I believe the full system back is at 2.5, which is like the minimum that we'd recommend on a turbo Starlet. Downpipe should be at least 2.5, but the hole in this flange here and this pipe here is only 2 inches. So we believe that's why we were having flow issues, like we thought it was other things. We've diagnosed it to be the exhaust after fixing everything else on the car.
Yeah, as we said, we've got the turbo tested, but it was like...
This is a pretty sus angle, by the way.
Let me get up. Yeah, so when we had the turbo tested, we ran out of ideas, so it had to be the turbo. So obviously we didn't give any faults to our turbo tester, and it's all true. It's just a downpipe, it's not enough flow from the exhaust.
Just to quickly reiterate, the initial problems we were having with this car on the dyno was that Sean was adding timing or adding boost and it wasn't doing anything at all. So we fitted a GFB into this car, and that was upping the boost, but it wasn't really increasing the horsepower at all. It was as if the timing wasn't being affected at all.
Yeah, so it's the ECU was the problem.
Yeah.
But now, obviously we're on the Link Monsoon, Sean's adding timing, it's actually increasing horsepower.
And the map bar sensor, the map sensor inside the ECU is also functional, because now we don't need a GFB anymore to increase the boost on this car. All we need is the Link wired into this Mac port valve here. So this is the GFB one, which we're going to have to remove before the customer takes his car back, and just take all this out. So this is connected directly to the high and low boost button in the car. So you've got switchable maps. I don't know where it is in a GT, I think it's over there. I believe it's there. So now the Link is in control of this little map port valve, all the boost problems have gone. It was just having some misfire issues as well. So temporarily we put our HT leads Dizzy coil pack igniter on the car.
Works for 300 brakes. That was no misfires, no nothing at 300 horsepower.
Nope.
And we noticed that the boost pipes, they're not the best.
Good shout, yeah. Well, the boost pipes are very well made.
They're very well made.
Shout out to NAW, whoever that is, or upside down, it's probably man. But as you can see, this is, I believe it's 46 mil, and these pipes are either exactly the same or slightly less in diameter. So that can also restrict airflow, obviously.
Yeah, and his intercooler, it's a Mishimoto intercooler as well, so this is plenty enough for flow.
Yeah, no issues in there. So other than the boost pipe and the exhaust issues with flow, this car is now running happy, healthy, perfect, and we are finally ready to give it back.
One thing I need to mention as well about the wastegates, we did strip the wastegate as well down to make sure the wastegate was working in order.
To make sure the diaphragm inside hadn't split, because as we mentioned before, this car should be making, well, it should, at first when we were having the issues, it should have been making more power than it was. And because we've done everything else possible, checked the engine health, compression tested everything, sent the turbo off to be professionally tested by Best Turbos. It was just a case of everything else. The injectors have been flow tested previously.
So it's just everything's been done. So we're going to do a full check over in the car now before it gets sent away. So if you guys have not watched the previous videos, I'll put the link in the description and everything else in the link in the description, what's being used on this video. So make sure you give a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and comment down below any questions. I'll try my best to answer them. Or if you can't get hold of me, link in the description, our website, go to the contact page below and message us on an email. I'll try to respond to you back.
Or bell the work phone off, because Dan runs the work phone.
Yeah, if you go on the website page, top the page, just click phone number and it will just ring away. And I hope you guys have liked this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.